everyone, it is Beth with Flying by the Seed of My Plants, and here is a little introduction to Abby. I know some of you that have been watching the channel have seen Abby, but this is something she absolutely loves to do, and that's play catch or fetch. She should be, I'm in Northeast Ohio near Cleveland, and we used to have the Indians, but they changed the name to the Guardians, and she could actually play an outfield. You gonna catch? So, anyhow, she is my shadow. She loves to garden with me. And so I kind of wanted to do a little introduction. Somebody had asked me, when are we going to meet Abby? And so I thought I'd start the video out with this. And I know it's been a little while since I've been on here. We are now towards the end of October. Friday is actually Halloween. And she loves this. Catch. And so right now in Northeast Ohio, it's definitely time before the ground freezes. You want to plant your garlic. I still have to get mine in. I got a lot of stuff going on. And hopefully there is some seed garlic out there for me, because I waited so long. But you plant your garlic now, and probably around June of next year is when you'll be harvesting if you're in my area. June, July. You wait until the bottom 3 leaves start dying back. And when you plant, you want to plant like 2 to 4 inches apart from each other. And wherever you designate where you're planting, just know that, come spring, you're not going to be planting anything there. So you have to designate a spot for that. And then once you harvest the garlic, either in June or July, whenever it's ready, the hardneck, you will get the scapes, and they will come first. And it makes a wonderful pesto, or just adding to any of your dishes for cooking. And anyhow, and you plant, pointy side up of the garlic seed. Abby, go get it. Are you done? I think she's done playing. Pointy side up of the garlic. And, if you're doing like the elephant garlic, you want to make sure those bulbs have room to grow. So 2 to 4 inches apart from each other, pointy side up. And it's better to get it in you should get it in before the soil, before it freezes. And you want to use a loose soil. But anyhow, a couple things I want to share with you today. And if you watched a previous video, you might have seen that my greenhouse, hang on a second. Okay, thought I'd turn around just to say hi. I'm here. I have been busy working on crafts. I have a craft fair this Saturday, November 1st. And so if you guys are in the area and you've heard of Richardson Farms, that's where I'm going to be, and several other vendors. And Richardson Farm is just a wonderful place. They do hay rides, different things like that. So 10 to 2, I believe. I'll be up there selling crafts, and I do terracotta pots, different things with the terracotta pots, and also I'll have different decorations, fall and Christmas. So anyhow, so getting back to, if you followed the one video where my greenhouse was taken over by yellow jackets. So basically I don't use my greenhouse in the summer. I've had a couple things in there that have done well, but I leave the door open because the heat in there in the summer can get really hot. I mean, it actually has melted plastic pots. But this year I didn't use it because, yellow jackets can be crazy. And I know they're pollinators, but they're also crazy crazy, and they will sting you, they will gang up on you. And so through the summer I kept that door closed, and they found every which way to get in there. So doing a little more research on yellow jackets. So in the winter in Northeast Ohio, they all die. The only one that survives is the queen. So, you know, I called a friend told me about this pest guy that he's used, so I called him up, and he told me, you know, what he uses is home defense, and he goes, just spray the heck out of the nest, and now that it was getting cold, I mean, I could have had him come out and do it, but it would have cost like $100. So in the evening, I did dump a bunch of home defense. I bought a gallon. It was like $10 for a gallon. And I dumped it on the nest, because I could see part of the nest now. And then the next day, there were still yellow jackets flying all over. And, you know, in the fall around here, they start getting nutso, the yellow jackets, because I think they know the time is coming to an end. And but anyhow, so the next evening I went ahead and dumped some more on there, and just, you know, I would never do that to bees or anything like that. I love the bees, I love the bumblebees, but yellow jackets are a different species. So I know some people might not like that, but yeah, they were going to die anyhow, but I just sped up the whatever. So they went ahead and made this nest above ground, and I could see part of the nest now, but they also intertwined it with my freeze cloth, so I probably have to get rid of that too when I pull it out. I thought about pulling it out while, you know, I had you guys on here, but it's in the morning. Right now it's in the 40s. Even though I don't see any of them flying around, I still get the heebie-jeebies about pulling that thing out, because I want to pull it out, and I'm going to throw it in my fire pit and actually get rid of it, because I don't want them in there next year. In the spring, I really start using it. I do an annual plant sale every year, and I just don't want them to go back to that nest, especially if the queen's still in there. And the queen, from what I understand, survives the winter. And I don't know if there's larvae in there. I have no clue. But they do not belong in my greenhouse. So for safety purposes, because I do have a granddaughter and I do have Abby and myself, I just don't want anyone getting attacked by them. And they're known for doing that. So anyhow, I'm going to show you a picture. Well, I'm going to bring the camera in the greenhouse so you can kind of see what I can see part of it. It's a beautiful nest. Okay, here we are. Here's my greenhouse. Watch out, Abby. Let's see how close I can get it. It's kind of falling apart. It's not as pretty as it was because of what I did, but anyhow. Let's look down here. Anyhow, there is the nest. That white powder, of course, is the 7 dust. So that's just part of the nest. So it's embedded inside of my green cloth. So I want to put gloves on. I want to do it at night because I'm still chicken, even though I know there's no activity going on. I don't know if the queen's still in there alive or whatever, but anyhow, that is part of the nest. And that's got to come out, and I am going to be putting it in the fire pit. And anyhow, so get out of here. because I want to use my greenhouse in the spring. So here's the zinnias. They're absolutely gorgeous. Like, if you want to save seeds, this is where, you know, this is a perfect one for saving seed. This one's a good one for saving seed. And they're going to look like little arrowheads, the seeds that you're saving. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. There's one there that looks like that arrowhead. That's a good seed. Now, if you spread seed right now or let these go thinking they're going to come back next year, most likely they will not. You actually have to harvest the seed, but you want to wait until they are brown, you know, like this. And you don't want to harvest them when it looks like this because they won't be viable seeds. You know, and then you save them, mark it, put it in a paper envelope, and plant them next year in the spring. Or you could start them indoors. But here is the zinnia, still just absolutely gorgeous. And there's some back here. And then the in-ground, I still have to clean the rest of that out and put my cages away. Here is the butterfly garden, pretty much done. I do have some dahlias blooming. Aren't they gorgeous? And I'm letting these go. These will reseed. This was the bee balm. So they will reseed. Got the rosemary, that I don't know if that'll come back next year. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the lavender. That will come back next year. And the blackberries, black raspberry, and I think that's about it. Here is the strawberries in this green stalk. And last year I did put them along my house in the wintertime and put leaves on top, but a lot of them did not come back. I thought about putting this in the greenhouse, breaking it down, putting it in the greenhouse, but then it's going to go through, you know, when it gets sunny, it gets warm in that greenhouse, so it's going to go thaw, freeze, which I don't think would be good for it either. So I think I'm just going to try and get a freeze cloth. Still have some snapdragons. And this is late October. So my fig tree did not do, oh, there's a couple figs, but they just didn't, I don't know. They never got to the point where I could eat them. I'm praying next year that the fig tree will give me a lot of figs. And then here is the Mexican sunflower that it's dead. I don't think that will come back next year, but that's okay. The birds have been munching on that. And I did plant lavender in these raised beds, so I think those will come back next year. We'll see. And I did a lot of pruning on the snapdragons. Okay, so now I'm back in my house. It's warm in here. I did do an end to it, but for some reason it didn't record, so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, weekend, and I will be back with a video showing how to winter sow. You know, if I'm making anything and I think you guys might be interested in something that, you know, from any harvest that I've done, I got my pumpkins that I harvested, 4 pumpkins, and I will do a video on that. But definitely the video with the winter sowing, which will be in January. Plus when I start some of my flowers, I do have a lot of videos you can go back and watch. You know, how I start my snapdragons, petunias, tomatoes, peppers, and there's always some new subscribers, so I feel like I do a repeat, but you know, if they miss some of the past ones, I could do a new video on that. So anyhow, I wanted to talk about the garlic. I wanted to talk about you meeting Abby and what she loves to do. Besides playing catch, she just follows me around. She's my companion. She's awesome. Black Labs are awesome dogs. So she very affectionate. She is very needy as far as she likes her treats. She's very demanding. But anyhow, I just love her. So just wanted to introduce you to Abby and what she loves to do. Talk about the yellow jackets. And as far as the zinnias, saving your seeds, you want to wait until they turn, until they die. And then you harvest the head of the zinnia and you look for the seed that looks like an Indian arrowhead. And I guess that's about it. And all right, so thanks so much for joining me. If you like the content, you go back and look at a lot of different things. I've been on here for 4 years. There's a lot of content on here. This year has been a little different, last year too, with family things going on. And so I haven't made so many videos this year, but hopefully next year things will change. I'll have more time to really get into a lot more of the videos. I also have a Facebook group, Flying by the Seed of My Plants. And usually around this time is when I start getting into crafts. And so anyhow, I guess that's it. So thanks so much for joining me. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. All right, bye.